So I came across another glitch this evening on eBay, and I want to tell you all about it on the other side. So let's get to it without any further ado. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin Ain't Easy. And today I want to talk to you about a couple things. The first thing I want to talk to you about is this glitch that I keep getting. And I don't know if it's just me. It can't be just me. It can't be something that's limited to me. It's definitely something that's a part of the eBay program. But what it is, and I'm going to show you a cutaway here, go to my computer here in a second. But essentially what it is, the last, say, 3 or 4 days, whenever I go to run my label, so I go to selling on the computer, I go to selling, and then I go to the summary tab, and then that tells me I have X amount of items that are waiting to be shipped. I click on that, and it's like, it shows me like old orders, and it just causes a ton of confusion. And the crazy thing about this is it tells me I have multiple shipments, but I haven't had multiple shipments to really any buyer in a long time. Really, I don't get repeat business. I just sell my stuff to different various buyers, and for it to say that I have multiple shipments kind of makes me wonder what's going on. Am I getting charged for labels more than once? And additionally, I'm going to show you the video here in a second, but what you're going to see is instead of being the default print label, it defaults at leave feedback on items that I still have to ship. So it's a hot mess, and it caused me some confusion this afternoon. I'm making this video Sunday evening, and yeah, I thought you guys might want to be aware of it. It's not a game changer. I don't think it's the end of the world, but for me, it's just yet another eBay glitch that shouldn't be there, shouldn't be happening. eBay, you know, they take too much of our money for them to give us this kind of a platform that's just full of errors and all that craziness. So come and take a look. Let's go to my computer, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I want to share a glitch with you guys that I just came across. Normally on the weekend, Sunday, which is when I'm making this video, I do my shipping for the weekend orders, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Didn't get a whole lot of orders, as you can see, but you scroll down, I usually do the bottom up, the oldest ones first. So went to go find this item. It says purchase shipping label. It says multiple shipments. I don't understand what that means. And it already has a tracking number, but I didn't really even realize that. I'm sitting there looking for this stuff, and I don't see it anywhere. So I'm starting to panic. I'm looking for this one, this dog leash, and I'm starting to panic because I can't find the thing. And ran a report, and it showed that I sold this on April 1st. Well, then it kind of dawned on me, because this is saying April 1st. I didn't really look at the dates or anything, because this was under the guise of print labels and ship. So when you click on that, it shows you all the items that are ready to go, right? And I always go from the bottom up because I want my oldest orders processed first. This is kind of the way I've always done it. And as you can see, I have that one that's already been shipped, 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 and it just continues. There's like 6 items in this list that I've already shipped, yet it pops up as multiple shipments, and these have already been shipped. So I don't understand what that could be. Of course, I guess you could say maybe another label was run. Maybe I voided a label somewhere, but why would it pop up in my to-do list in my, as you can see, my print labels and ship area here? So how many of you guys have actually seen that? Now, it's like I said, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to break anything. But honestly, I spent 20 minutes looking for an item that I know I sold like a month or so ago. And it turns out that I sold that dog leash back on the 1st of April. And it kind of put a scare in me, because the last thing us sellers want to have to be dealing with is, somehow this item got relisted, and now it's sold and I don't have it, and now I have to cancel this. If you cancel those kind of transactions per being out of stock, you know, that's a defect on your account. And I don't care what anyone tells you, I am convinced that if you get a defect on your account, even though you don't have enough to like get knocked down a level, a seller level, it definitely does hurt your search, your best match search results. And of course, that leads to lower sales. So that's just my hypothesis on it. Nobody's ever been able to disprove it, and I've never been able to prove it, but that's just what I think. So I wanted to kind of tell you guys also, now many of you guys know about this tool. I think I posted something about it, but for many of you who are new and maybe are starting to grow your store, it's a good idea to check to make sure you don't have duplicate inventory, because that last thing I just told you about, it can lead to concerns about double selling. Well, you don't want to have something like that happen to where you have duplicate listings. There's a duplicate listing tool, and essentially this duplicate listing tool allows you to just basically pull up any store, it could be someone else's store, to see if they have an item listed more than once. And it's a pretty good tool. It's a good idea to run this every so often, especially if you have a larger store. That way you don't run into any problems. Something to look into. And finally, wanted to get to a viewer question, and kind of made me chuckle, so I thought I'd share it with you. It was from Killer Saul. He sent this message today, and he said, "Man, I'm just trying to find a video on how I can ask for a partial refund on eBay since my order had everything it was supposed to, but the game. Can't find a partial refund video from a buyer's perspective." Well, I can tell you we've covered the partial refund issue on this channel in the past from a seller's perspective, but I'm really kind of confused about this particular question. You say that you bought an item and it had everything except for the game. I'm assuming it's a video game, but essentially, isn't that the main component of what you were buying? And if it is the main component of what you're buying, the game, and you got the instructions, you got other stuff, the case, but didn't get the game, why would you want a partial refund? Unless you're buying it for the case and the instructions or whatever other accessories that come with it, why would you want a partial refund? Why wouldn't you want your money back? So, and this is coming from a guy who buys online just like you do. For me, if I'm not getting everything that you've advertised in that listing, I'm just going to open a return. I want to return this item. I want my money back. And I'm going to not be happy about being sent everything except for the main component of what I was purchasing. Now, if you receive an item that's not quite in the condition, or maybe you can live with it kind of thing, well, then that's where you need to communicate with the seller. Too many buyers open up returns without reaching out to the seller, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm not advocating to reach out and try to shake down the seller. That's certainly not what I would do. If it's that egregious, it's simply just a return. If a buyer contacts us and shows us photos, I think that's very important. Show your seller photos of what's going on along with your message. But if a buyer comes to me with photos proving that there's an issue, I'm more apt to just say, hey, let's just work out a refund. Let the seller make that recommendation. And for the love of God, don't put, what would you like to do? Simply this: let the seller know there's a problem, okay? Something like this, I would just say open a return. But in your case, it just depends if you're still satisfied with that item, even though the main component of the item is not there. Communication, I think, is probably one of the biggest things, I think, not only in reselling, but in life, that is lacking. That if, as people, we do a better job of communicating with each other when there's a problem, letting them know, giving them a heads up that there's an issue. As a reseller, I'd like to know that my buyer has a legitimate problem before they go in and open a return. And if you get enough returns, it does hurt your seller performance. I would like to have that option. Now, most of the time, I'm going to tell you to open a return, and that's just going to be the end of it. I'm not going to offer you a partial refund. If it is cost effective and I have screwed up both things, then, and you can show that in photos that I screwed up or I sent you something that wasn't as described, then I'm more apt to offer as a seller the partial refund offer to maybe avoid having to spend extra money on a return label when I'm not going to be able to resell whatever you're sending me back anyway because I screwed up and I sent you a broken item or, in this case, an incomplete item. And of course, offer photos. Now, your seller is probably going to say, hey, I sent you that disc or whatever it was that you're missing. You know, everyone's got to be honest with themselves, honest with the seller. It's about integrity. And so if I can make a video from a buyer's perspective, it's be honest. Don't lie to get a free game. Don't lie to try to get some money back on an item that's perfectly fine. And that's my message as a buyer. But if you're being honest, if you're doing the right thing and you legitimately didn't get what you paid for, reach out to the seller and try to work it out with them based on kind of what I told you. And if it doesn't work, just return it. So guys, what do you think? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Kind of a quick video today. I have another video that's going to be launching here. Want to discuss more about the whole promoted listings thing that everyone's been concerned about. And I'm going to put a video together that I'll be dropping here very soon. So guys, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit that notification bell so that if you want to be notified when I go live, and I go live kind of just on a whim a lot, you'll be notified and you won't miss it. Glitches on eBay, they're going to happen, and they've been happening way too much. And sometimes they cause confusion, just like they cause for me. And I'm talking to you about it because I want you to know it's not your fault. It's yet another eBay glitch. But you know what? This is just another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent start to your week, and we will talk to you very soon.